Hi, I'm James from Chaosium. I sat down with Jeff Richard a few weeks ago and we talked about the most dangerous places in Glorantha. RuneQuest is a game where it's very easy to die, so it's important to know what areas to avoid when you start playing. I'm going to jump across to that interview in just a moment, but first, remember to subscribe to the Chaosium YouTube channel, and thanks for watching.
Well, if we're going to be talking about the most dangerous places in Glorantha, some of that's going to depend on your type of character. So my first thought, the moment you said that, Jamie, was, if it was my Orlanthe characters that I'm running right now, I'd say Glamour is a pretty darn dangerous place for them. Going to the very center of the Lunar Empire. But on the other hand, if I'm playing a lunar character, it's about as not dangerous as you can get. It's the great sacred city. But that's a great question. Well, if we're going to keep it around Dragon Pass, then I'd say that the most dangerous places, right? I got to have three here. Would be Snake Pipe Hollow, of course. I would say then a little bit south of Dragon Pass, there's the Chaos Woods in the Stone Forest, the Larnced Footprint. Now, both of these things are dangerous for basically the same reason. These are chaos hellholes that you go in there, you're going to be dealing with brew and scorpion men and ogres and all sorts of unpleasant magic and lots of weirdness. So they're just dangerous because they are fundamentally dangerous places. But then if I wanted to pick something that was dangerous, not because it's filled with chaos, I'd say Dagori Inkarth. And Dagori Inkarth is an awesome place to send your players to because it is just freakily dangerous. That's the area of the great ancient queendom of the trolls. It's where the Castle of Lead is. And beneath the Castle of Lead lives Kyger Lighter herself, the great mother of all trolls. And beneath everything going on in Dagori Inkarth, there are still Mistress Race trolls, and Crag Spider is not far from there. So your adventurers, you send your adventurers into Dagori Inkarth, and if they're not troll friends, it's going to be they either need to find a way to be troll friends, or it's going to be an awfully unpleasant trip.
Let me dive into that a little bit deeper. If you go into Dagori Inkarth and you're not a troll friend, what is the terrible fate that will befall you? And how do you avoid that? Is it just becoming a troll friend? Is that the only option? How do you go about that?
The biggest danger is ending up getting eaten by a troll. And there's giant shadows that roll through the area that can attack with fear shock, that get worshipped by the trolls, and some of them are even semi-sentient. You have dangerous spirits, you have things from the underworld, you have great trolls and dark trolls and ravenous trollkin. It's the center of troll power in Dragon Pass, and it's where Kyger Lighter decided to live on the surface world. So it's if you're not a troll or something able to work with the things of darkness, it's a very dangerous place. So if I'm going to go there and I'm not a troll, and I'm not a troll friend, then I want to go there armed with a lot of friends, and I want to go there preferably a small army. That's how I would go, or as sneaky as possible. So if you're Orlanthe, this is a good time to get out that Sandals of Darkness spell, Dark Walk, and try to be able to zip through Dagori Inkarth without the trolls knowing it. But it's a scary, scary place. And to me, I find I enjoy Snake Pipe Hollow. I enjoy the Larnced Footprint, but everything there is antithetical to you. It's brew, it's ogres, it's evil giants or whatnot. The thing that makes trolls so dangerous and so fun is they can be reasoned with. They can be bartered with, they can be bribed. And to me, that makes them much more frightening, because you've got a chance to be able to pull this off without combat. But are you really gonna be able to pull it off? And for me, that's just way more fun.
That's a great answer. So you've got Dagori Inkarth, the home of the trolls, where you've got all of these terrible dangers. That's number one. Hit us with your number two.
Oh, for number two, I would pick in the Dragon Pass area, I'd pick Snake Pipe Hollow for obvious reasons. Snake Pipe Hollow that's where Chaos was defeated in the Gods War. That's where I Fought We Won took place. And so Marangor collapsed the earth around the armies of Chaos there, and they were defeated by the surviving mortals of Dragon Pass. But a lot of that chaos dug into the earth, fled into the area, and the place is still cursed by how much chaos, by the presence of chaos. And that's never a good place. By and large, most of Glorantha, you don't have that many chaotic entities. When your average farmers in Sartar, which is, let's be fair, Sartar is a fairly dangerous place. Your average farmer in Sartar doesn't ever see a brew. It doesn't ever see a scorpion men. Those things are rare and terrifying. But if you go to Snake Pipe Hollow, you are going to see that. And so that makes that awful dangerous. And let's just lump the Lawrence footprint there with Snake Pipe Hollow for the same reasons. It's where Crushed squirmed to the surface, and Lawrence, the god of movement, tried to stomp her and squish her out of existence, and stomped on the ground, and Crushed bit Lawrence's foot, oozing out poisoned ichor, which is the reason that place is so cursed and horrific. So definitely the chaos nests of Snake Pipe Hollow and Lawrence Footprint, that's number two for me.
So there are a lot of chaos-filled places inside Glorantha and even inside Dragon Pass. What is it in particular that makes this place special? Is it just the density? And as a follow-up, how can you best prepare? Is it just come with an army again? What's your best system to survive Snake Pipe Hollow?
Well, Snake Pipe Hollow itself, I find interesting because before Chaos came there, it was the site of a great Earth Temple. So you have so every time I run an adventure in Snake Pipe Hollow, I try to get the characters into the Caves of Chaos to try to find the Snake Pipe, which is a magical artifact in the temple, and have them go and explore the ruins and the ghosts of this haunted temple that is surrounded by all of these horrific chaos things, and the temple is in ruins. It's all underground. It's in ruins because of the giant chaos maggot that was brought down there by Termaine Osperopo, which is, what a great name, which is some sort of horrific chaotic entity. But there's other horrific things in Snake Pipe Hollow. That there's rumors that Thanatar wanders around parts of it looking for a new head to put on his body. Thanatar is this absolutely horrific and obscene chaos god of headhunters, and it's also a place where the ogres, cannibalistic people that think that they're better than that they're the only real people. Basically an entire society of sociopathic serial killers. That's where they gather at at Cackle Demon's altar. So it's got these absolutely horror show monsters to be able to throw in, plus great cool background.
And what's the survival trick? How do you overcome these threats? If your GM's going to send you there, what do you want to come packing?
Go in if you're going to go into the Snake Pipe Hollow, go in fast, go in hard, and make sure you're prepared, and don't stick around. Go in, get what you want, and leave. Hope that the left hand of chaos or the right hand of chaos doesn't zip around and find you like some sort of obscene version of Glove from Sergeant Pepper's, the old animated film. There's awesome awfulness there, but go in hard, go in fast. If you bring an army there, the chaotic horrors are just going to scatter underground anyways. Like, you know, if you turn over a rock and all the ants and pill bugs and everything, how they skirt away from the light, that's all that's going to happen. So be prepared. Make sure you've got all your rune points there, your best armor. Go in and make sure there's somebody with a lot of heal magic and cure disease spells.
Fantastic. So last question, and the third most dangerous place. And for this, expanding the range just a little outside Dragon Pass. But if I can give you a bit of a challenge, keep it within a couple of days travel, you know, just in the borderlands of Prax or somewhere around there. What's your third option, do you think?
Well, I was thinking about the third option, and I'm going to give out a couple, a group of them, all basically at that edge outside of the Dragon Pass zone. One that I think it's a shame people to use more often is the Shadow Plateau. This is the haunted ruins of what used to be the Palace of Black Glass that was built for the only old one by his father, Argan Argar, who defeated Lodril, the volcano god, and forced him to build this obsidian palace. And it's now in ruins and smashed. And it's got, you know, tens of thousands of trolls in it. It's got tunnels that go all the way down to the underworld, down to hell. You know, it's filled with ghosts and bad memories and lost dreams, which to me is a great place to send adventurers. But and it's dangerous, but is it more dangerous than Dora Store? You know, Dora Store is the only product we ever did as Chaosium that comes with a warning label that if you send your player characters there, there's a good chance they're just not coming out. This is where Gabaji and Arcat fought. It's basically ground zero for chaotic horrors. It's ruled by a unicorn brew emperor. It's got the Mad Sultan. It's got so many monsters that the little horrors that you see in Snake Pipe Hollow seem almost trivial there. So, and it's not that far off the edge. It's, you know, you can get there from Dragon Pass.
So let me ask you this. Why is danger and lethality and the real risk of death and losing limbs such an important part of the RuneQuest game experience?
I do think that it's just always when we're playing a role-playing game, even playing a very narrative game, I think it's really important that we always have something that is of emotional high stakes for us as a player. And that can be danger to your character, that can be danger to something that your character loves or cares tremendously about. But without without those stakes, the game, in my opinion, becomes ultimately very emotionally stale. It becomes about gaining power or gaining additional resources or becoming more skilled in it. And with RuneQuest, and let's be fair, all of the BRP systems are like this: Pendragon, Call of Cthulhu, etc. This one of the stakes that's always present there is hey, it doesn't matter how skilled your character is. They're always, every time you put yourself in danger, there's a risk that this is the last time you'll play your character. And that provides an emotional stake that makes it exciting for us.
I'm going to hit you with one last follow-up question about that. You're a storyteller and a narratologist, and Glorantha exists outside of RuneQuest to a certain extent. It's a world of its own, but the danger is still there. It's so present. Why is the danger there in terms of, well, what does it serve the story? What does it do? And I think it's a core part of Glorantha, but what does it give to the world that allows it to be what it is?
I think the importance of danger, and just in terms of the the fictional, let's treat Glorantha as just a fictional fantasy setting, having a constant sense of danger that fights, our heroes can die, our protagonists are fragile. What that does is it reinforces the importance of mortality. And I think in Glorantha, that division between what is mortal and what is divine or spirit is really important as a theme for it. So the gods of Glorantha are eternal. They're immortal. They are there. You don't fight them. You might interact with them on a hero quest, but they just are, and they always have. They're always what they are. But our protagonists, our point of view is us mortals. We don't really get what's going on. We're limited, and we're all going to die. And that, to me, is thematically incredibly important in a fantasy setting.